everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Rodgers' Packers going up against Ryan's Falcons. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. You are looking live at the Georgia Dome here in downtown Atlanta. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he?
He really is. And I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant just about everything he does, and I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a third Pro Bowl in 2017. I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough,
and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He completes it to Jordy Nelson.
And the 2016 NFL Comeback Player of the Year was Jordy Nelson. He had a fantastic year after the knee injury in 2015. Well over 1,000 yards again. And once again, he was the #1 target for Aaron Rodgers.
NFL high 14 receiving touchdowns. What dimension does he add that makes them so good on offense?
Dependability as well as speed. All right, Jordy Nelson's the type of guy who can run any route you want, yet he can also take the top off of a defense, as we like to say, by running past people. It's a heck of a combination to deal with. Plus, Aaron Rodgers knows when he gets in trouble, he just looks for Jordy Nelson, and 9.9 times out of 10, he'll find a way to get open.
A couple of years ago, Cobb signed that 4-year, $40 million deal. Since then, the numbers have been down a little bit, although last year only played 13 games.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be as concerned with the numbers dropping if I were a Packers fan, because remember, Devontae Adams has developed as a player, and his numbers have gone up. You got Jordy Nelson back to full health in 2016. He's going to catch a lot of passes, almost caught 100 in that season. Jared Cook at tight end. That's a new weapon Green Bay didn't have for a while. And don't forget, Randall Cobb spent some time as a running back when all the injuries hit the backfield. So his versatility is still a major plus for Green Bay.
Throwing now is Rodgers. That's caught at the 3. It's a 9-yard pick. Up on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And the ref goes under the hood, puts the headset on for the often dreaded did the ball cross the plane review.
So difficult because all it takes is a portion of the ball crossing the plane for it to count. but you've got to get the right angle, and right now the official is hoping to get a lot of help from the guys in New York.
On the sneak, Rodgers. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Here's a look at the young Atlanta Falcons, although next year, obviously, everyone will be a year older. So rookies like Deion Jones, Keanu Neal, Devondre Campbell, an extra year. Well, they're only a year, but a year under their belt now to get better.
They're just young and growing, aren't they? I mean, I expect their play to continue to accelerate and elevate. And think about the building blocks they had in front of them. Second-year guys in 2016 who had big years. Grady Jarrett, a monster in the Super Bowl, tied a sack record in that game against New England. And Vic Beasley led the NFL in sacks for the regular season with 15.5 and also had 6 forced fumbles.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times. And
Mohamed Sanu with nobody ahead of him. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now it's Rodgers. Out to the flat for Lacey. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On second down, Lacey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. Here's Rodgers to throw. It's caught. Nelson. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Again, it's Lacey. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run it with Lacey. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And it's up and good. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. And Brandon, I think Mohamed Sanu had a nice career while he was in Cincinnati, but he really elevated 2016 in Atlanta. The most catches for himself in a single season.
59 of them, 4 touchdowns. Really a nice compliment to Julio Jones, and he was a nice compliment in Cincinnati. I don't want to say he's not a number 1 receiver, but he plays that number 2 slot well, doesn't he?
He does, and I think it's because of his versatility. He can play in the slot. He can play out wide. They can use him as a wildcat quarterback. He has thrown passes in the NFL. In fact, going back to his days at Rutgers, I think he threw 18 passes while he was at Rutgers, so you never know what you're going to get when Mohamed Sanu has his hands on the football.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. On 2nd down, Ryan. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Caught left side by Cobb. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Of course we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, and it's 3rd down. And you would have to think an obvious passing situation here on 3rd and 9. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it.
He's got a man, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll toss it to Coleman. They find some open field here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. They come out here in the eye. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Ryan turns and gives to DeMarco. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Not enough sense of urgency there. Play clock hits 0, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I like your point there. Not enough sense of urgency. People walking up to the line of scrimmage, you've got to get up there and get set and be ready to go.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. You know, the running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that. That's why they were able to get to him on it.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. On first down, Ryan. This will be caught inside the 10. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
An ex-teammate used to tell me experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The give will go to the fullback, DeMarco. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
On 3rd and goal, Ryan. That's caught at the 3. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of this?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
He's got time. That's complete to Cobb. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. So 3rd down, and the Falcons going with a dime. 6 defensive backs. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They run. It's Lacy. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Big Eddie Lacy denied on 4th down. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. And a great spot to start this drive from here. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Clay Matthews leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. On 2nd down, Freeman down to the 25. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So that's a big one there. It's his 3rd field goal of the game, and a 2-score lead's got to feel pretty good right about now.
And while they're not free and clear yet, you're right. Now this defense can go out knowing that it's going to take more than one big play to catch them.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
2nd down now after the incompletion. They go play action for Lacy. Now Rodgers. He's going to try and go deep again. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Jordy Nelson, 82 yards. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They come out here in the eye. They will run again with Coleman. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. This is Coleman. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, 32 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again.
This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 60 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Desmond Trufant, and he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They're in a good spot. Two-possession game, barely, but a two-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape.
Freeman again. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Still 9 yards to go on third down. They come out here in the eye. Here's Coleman on the toss. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And possession will change here with very little time remaining in this contest. Rodgers to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.
Turn up. I'm breaking in. I'm at the pearly gates, but they won't let it in. I told the devil, I said, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. No, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. Pray to the Lord, Daddy, let breaking in. I'm breaking in. I'm at the pearly gates, but they won't let it in. I told the devil, I said, F him, I ain't trying to sin. No, I ain't trying to sin. Pray to the Lord, Daddy, let me in. Daddy, let me in. If not, I'm breaking in. I'm breaking in. I'm breaking in.